doing tonight? I always forget to turn down my volume on my iPad, so I start talking, and there's like a really loud echo. So I'll wait for that to get started here in just a second. I think it's going to get started in a second. There we go. Alright, now I can turn down my volume. Ooh. Can't type. So, shared a short the other day. Said short was basically asking what you wanted me to do with the Trouvaille. So, the short itself, hey, what's up, Trevor? So, what's going on, Sierra Outdoors? It's good to see you, man. Never talked to you. But, so the short was basically asking, hey, what do you want me to do with the Trouvaille build-wise? I thought about just doing a live feed and kind of talking to all of you as I did the build and just kind of explaining why I got what parts and that kind of a scenario. But it seemed like the majority of you actually... Oh gosh, there's a lot. Hang on. Yeah, what's up, Fracture? You still on that night shift life, huh? How's it going, Jimmy? But pretty much all of you, but like I think one person said that they didn't want the live feed. So we're going to do like just basically short how-to videos. I'm going to try to keep them around, 5 to 8 minutes. And the game plan for the actual frame itself is to get the build done before Christmas. So whoever wins the build can actually get it before Christmas, which we are running out of time. But the good thing about the build is currently where we're sitting, there's only a few parts here. But we're actually sitting pretty good with the build. The only things that we really need, in my opinion, is a fork. I would like to upgrade the fork. The original fork is just chilling right here. I still got the Suntour, and honestly, it's not a bad fork. It's a nice fork. It gets the job done. Hey, what's going on, Forever? Forever, did you ever get that stem? I know you live in Mexico, and I know you were supposed to get it from family in Texas, but did you get the stem? Because I know I shipped it to him, so just kind of curious if you got that or not. But, so we have the original fork still, but I mean, this thing's a beast. Weighs about 6 pounds. It's honestly not a bad fork. If you watch my like impressions of the first ride with this fork, it did pretty good for what it was. But I mean, I'd love to get an actual air fork on this for whoever wins. I mean, that's just such a huge upgrade and saves 2.5, 3 pounds almost. So we're waiting on that, and I'll explain something in just a second with the live feed. I don't typically do stuff like this, but I now have, I guess it's like the little fancy money button thing to send like stickers and stuff. And I guess I'm technically supposed to share about that since I'm doing that. And the reason why I'm doing that is because any money that is actually given to me through that will go straight to this build. So I'm hoping to get some money to help to actually get a new fork or to even get new wheel sets or something like that. JG Bike just released their new wheel set. It's like $200 for the actual, I think it's a 102 tooth engagement. I might be a little wrong there. Very nice hub, and it's a complete wheel set, so I'm wanting to get those for this build as well. So the wheel set is optional in my opinion. The fork, I think, is pretty paramount for really transforming this bike. So, some pretty cool stuff there. What he said? Oh no, well you'll get the fork eventually, man, hopefully here soon. But, so just a heads up on that scenario. I don't expect people to give me money, and I don't necessarily want you to, but if this is a way you want to help support the build and you don't know what part to get, because we have right now 3 sponsors, which I'll go over what they've sent me for this build specifically, because we are giving this bike away. As I go over the few parts we have right now, just to kind of show and explain where I'm going with this build, I'll tell who donated the parts. And as we get the bike built, it's basically a committee. If you donate a bike part to this build, you're in this committee, and we're going to be conversing and discussing how to get rid of this bike or how to give it away, in the sense of, is it going to be like an entry in hey, I got a friend who really needs this bike and this is why, and then we read through them all and pick, or something as simple as a name drawing. So there is that, and I'm hoping I'm going to talk to a couple local bike shops to see if I can team up with them to actually ship it to you as well. So, and if not, I'll just ship it bike flights. So we have plenty of options. Fractured! Well, I appreciate you, brother. You know that. Oh, man. Well, I didn't expect that to happen, but that's pretty cool. So, oh, man. I'm going to take a sip of my coffee real quick and just chill for a minute, because, yeah. I don't know, thank you, man. That's so cool. Oh, Roman, that's a good idea. We could totally do that. I did the upgrade program for my very first fork when I upgraded my Suntour on my actual GT Aggressive Pro. I didn't even think about that. That's a really good idea, Roman. But, by the way, thanks for joining, Roman. It's good to have you. So, we're going to start with my good personal friend who donated $60, and he basically said, hey, put this to whatever you need it to. So I thought this was a terrific deal for the amount, and what I ended up using that money for was a microshift derailleur. So we'll open this real quick and take a closer look at it. But the cool thing is we're going to keep the 9-speed. I think the 9-speed for this bike, for what it is, and most likely going to more of a beginner rider, even though it should be upgraded pretty nice. The original derailleur was lacking a clutch. So now we have a Advent microshift 9-speed with a clutch. Hopefully that'll zoom in okay for you guys. I know it's a live feed, so sometimes it looks a little questionable. So we got that, but I absolutely love the Advent clutches. I think they're very, very nice. There's an off and an on, and when it's off, it just opens and closes. Oh, hang on, let me shut this heater off. It's really cold here in Illinois. I just got off a 48-hour shift and had a call about 3 a.m. and it was like 12 degrees. So just a heads up on that. Hey, see you, Trevor. Take care, man. So really nice Advent derailleur. And the really cool thing about this is it's going to be a slap and play. So, and as I was mentioning, you can actually take this cover off and tighten and loosen the clutch itself. So that ratchet, that's when the clutch is engaged. So this came from my really good bud, Rich Moore. Rich Moore is the kind of like the manager, the overseer of Griffin Bike Park. Typically, anytime you see me riding really fun, gnarly features, it's at Griffin Bike Park. And Rich is one of my very, very good buds. He does not have a YouTube channel or anything of that nature yet. He's talked about doing some stuff. He's got some amazing knowledge, information, just over biking in general. And sadly, he just broke a bone not too long ago, so he's kind of out of commission. But he's actually wanted to discuss like helmets and things like that. And I mentioned to him about actually meeting up with him to do that with him, because he's got very good knowledge and information. And actually, some of you may have seen the short, but I did just buy a new helmet. I got a pretty sharp looking Smith. I really like this helmet a lot, and there's a review coming out for that here soon. But so the first part I was showing, and as mentioned, this was from Rich, was this Advent 9 clutch derailleur. This is just, if you have a Trouvaille, in my opinion, this is kind of a no-brainer upgrade because it is legitimately slap and play. The derailleur it comes with, as mentioned, is not clutched. So this is just a really big upgrade in the sense of helping with chain slap and things like that. So the next one I'm going to go to, let me put this back away because we're going to have to reopen this when I make the short, so I have to make it look like I've not opened it before for the dramatic unboxing effect. Hey, what's up, Mr. Crawlings? How you doing? I've never said this to you before, I don't think, but Mr. Crowley is actually, which it's kind of close to that name, but it's one of my favorite Ozzy Osbourne songs. So just heads up on that. But, so, microshift clutch derailleur. One of the best upgrades I think you can do. The next one we're going to go to is this, which I actually have a comparison for this in just a second, which is pretty cool because JG Bike sent me their brand new crankset, but Run Bike Mike sent me this. Run Bike Mike does have a YouTube channel. He's currently upgrading a Polygon hardtail. He's kind of teamed up with Polygon to make that build. It's an Extrada, I believe. I'm not sure which one. It's like the burgundy and then gray silver one. Mike's just a really nice guy. Whenever I started doing this build, he actually reached out to me and asked what part I needed. And I said, well, I'd love to get an upgrade to the bottom bracket and an upgrade to the actual crankset. So he asked me what I thought would be good, and it's really hard to beat JG Bike. I think JG Bike, for the price and for what you get, is absolutely terrific. So let's unbox this real quick for you guys. And then I'm going to kind of do a real quick comparison for the new one. So, got a 36 tooth. We'll see if we actually, I don't think this will fit. But a lot of times when you buy one of these crank sets, they just send you. But it is an oval as well, which I love. And you'll see here soon that the accent color we're going with on this is actually purple. So that's pretty cool. But I don't think this 36 will work once we get it, because it's going to be way too big. So I'll probably end up using this on a different build and have to buy an actual ring. But these are about $10 a piece, so nothing too crazy there. But so So there's a couple different like things I actually want to show in the comparison of this crankset that Run Bike Mike got compared to the new crankset that JG Bike actually sent me. I think JG Bike cranksets are just so good for the money. They're so hard to beat. But there's one thing really, really specific. 36 volt fit. Chris says 36 volt fit. So we're doing the 36 oval. Why not? And hey, Chris. Glad to have you, man. But this is one of the bigger things I want to actually show you in comparison to the new style. But, so here's the other one. This is the one, as I mentioned, Run Bike Mike sent me. Please, please, please go show Run Bike Mike some love. Go to his channel, subscribe. But here's the new crankset that this is the one JG Bike sent me, okay? So you can tell a pretty big difference there already, just from the design. Some people may like this. Some people may think it's a little too gaudy or a little too much. And this one's just a little bit more basic. So just a heads up there. You can see the actual, where the bolts would go in for the actual chainring itself, a little bit different. But one thing I've always liked about JG Bike is that these bolt holes are slightly recessed. So the actual bolt kind of sits in there and it just looks a little bit nicer. But I'm hoping I can get this on camera because there is a slight difference in the teeth. Let me see if I can get them pretty close together. But I'm not sure if you're going to be able to get it. But you can tell the teeth on the new one are just slightly bigger and just a little bit deeper. Not too much more. But it's hard to tell probably on camera. But what's nice about this crankset being like that is it's basically got more like bite. I've never had any issues with like this rounding off or anything like that because I run about 3 or 4 different JG Bike cranksets, but it's nice that they switched that up just a little bit because now we just have, I guess, a little bit more girth to the teeth for, I guess, lack of a better term. But I mean, they just made some really nice upgrades to this. And whenever I go to install this, when I go to install this, I'm definitely going to do a comparison video of these two, a little bit more in depth of weighing them. And I can tell just by holding them that this one's definitely a little bit lighter. Not by a ton, it feels like, but they just did some really nice, I guess, quality of life changes on this. So it's pretty cool that they are just kind of going back to the drawing board with what they do. But as mentioned, I run quite a few of these, and I've never had any issues with these rounding off or anything of that nature. So, but JG Bike cranksets, absolutely terrific bang for buck in my opinion. I got a set on my Poseidon, Flat Bar X. I've got a set, I know I have 2 or 3 of these actually on my bike. So I usually get these or Shimano Deore for the price. I used to run quite a bit of SRAM. I kind of started to get away from SRAM just because of the price. SRAM make terrific products, but I can get Shimano and that kind of stuff for about 30 or 40 bucks cheaper, so why not? So just a heads up on why I do that. Let me catch up here. Thomas, I don't know how much it would cost to send you in Canada, bud. But, what do you say? I write children's books about creepy crawlies. No. That's awesome. The spine has always been quality on the G. I definitely agree. I've never had any issues or complaints with this one, Chris. But it is, as mentioned, I mean, it's just kind of nice that they switched it up a little bit just to, again, give it just a little bit more bite so it won't round off, but I've never had one round off. This one did come with a metal actual compression bolt here, snug it all together, but the new set did as well. So let me grab that real quick. I'm not trying to turn this into a comparison, and you can just see the slight difference here. Nothing too crazy different there. This one's got a little washer on it, which is, or not a washer, I'm sorry. A little O-ring on it, which is kind of cool, but they both got the blue Loctite on it, and this one is nicer a little bit just because it kind of tells you what, which is, I mean, barely any newton meters at all. It just kind of squeezes it all together for you. So, but yeah, both of these are aluminum, I'm guessing, of some form. So, that's nice. But, as mentioned, Run Bike Mike was showing the channel some love and hooked the Trouvaille up with these JG Bike cranksets. So please go show Run Bike Mike some love if you have not. He's got some really fun content and some really cool stuff. He does some trail building in his own backyard as well. And he's not too far from me, so maybe someday I'll get an invite to go ride with him. So that's pretty cool. All right, so the rest of this pile of stuff is actually from, I bet someone in the comments can guess who the rest of this stuff is from, so I won't say quite yet. Hey, what's going on, Kevin? How you doing? Thank you for joining. I'd love to see if some people can put in the comments over who they think all this jazz is from. So just, that'll be kind of fun for you to see if you can guess. I'll give you the answer here in just a little bit. But the the man who is always hooking people up really did some pretty cool stuff with hooking the Trouvaille up with some very nice parts. And I definitely owe him a huge shout out. And of course, all this is from Berserker Nick. Berserker Nick is just, and I say it all the time, just an amazing individual. He supports so many channels. He helps so many people out. I mean, I don't know if you can see it in here right now, but he had that board made for me. I mean, he's just an awesome individual. So please go to his channel, subscribe, show the guy some love. He does some awesome BMX builds. He's got a pretty cool looking Trek as well. So just a heads up on that. No, I was just about to type that. So we'll start with the chain. And you can see he went with just a nice, cheaper oil slick speed chain. So it's a 9-speed because he knew I was keeping it the 9-speed. If anybody knows me, they know I absolutely love oil slick. So this is going to work absolutely perfect. Oh, there's a pretty good glare on that. Sorry. So you can see that there's, just a really nice chain, a nice oil slick chain. I've never ran one of these VG Sports ones, but it comes with a quick link on the back here. So if it's a chain, it comes with a quick link. I'm down. So really cool there. This is one I actually think is really cool. I have, yep, Mr. Collins got it. But I've never actually seen a slap or a chainstay protector like this one. It is, it's just an adhesive, but it's got some like really cool bulky knobs. So they're kind of just like filled with air. And I'm not going to open this yet because I don't want to open it until I actually put it on the Trouvaille. But it's pretty cool. I'm really interested to see how this looks on the actual bike itself when I put it on. And there's here, hang on. Whenever I took this on its first ride, it was stock. And I mean, just from the stock derailleur, you can just see all the craters that the actual chain caused from the lack of bounce protection, for lack of a better term there. But I forget how nice this frame is. Let's appreciate this Trouvaille frame for just a minute. Good grief. It's a little dirty. That's my bad. It'll get a real good bath before before we take care of it. But, I mean, they made a really nice frame. This looks good. It rode terrific. I was very impressed with it. But, I mean, overall, it's just, the paint job's nice, a real nice matte finish, silver and black. It's a sharp looking bike. And the stock build is really nice. So that's pretty cool. So I mean it's such a sharp bike in my opinion, and it's very upgradable, which is very cool. Hannah has the VG oil slick chain, been on there all year. Perfect. So chain should be good. Thank you, Chris. We got some very nice Stamp 1 pedals. I ran a set of Stamp pedals for these exact same ones actually for, geez, 2.5 years. I finally switched to the new P&W, which one is it, the Ranges? There's the Loam and the Ranges. I don't remember, I think the Loam's the $100 ones, which I run a set of the Loams on my, I got the black ones. They're on my single speed Axum, and then the purple ones I got for my Poseidon. So I finally retired those, but when I had these, I did really like them a lot. I thought they were very nice pedals. So as mentioned again, Berserker Nick, all the stuff we're going through right now is things that he hooked the Trouvaille up with. So some very nice Crank Brothers pedals. And we'll get over the last two things here in just a minute. I want to catch up with some comments just in case. I use Gorilla Black duct tape. That works too. You wrap that gun, son of a gun, with some tape. You could do an inner tube. You could do Gorilla tape as well. Anything like that will work. And I understand why they didn't put a clutch derailleur on its stock. I mean, saving money and that kind of a thing. But just to know that you can grab a 9-speed derailleur that is clutched for $60, like $63 after tax, shipped to you in 2 days from Amazon, you know, that's just, it's a no-brainer upgrade in my opinion. And this is not, in fact, decaffeinated. This is caffeinated coffee. Just got off a 48-hour shift and I got some God of War Ragnarok to play. I don't know if any of you guys play video games, but I put one of the girls to bed, wanted to come and do the live feed. I'm gonna hang out with Marley for a little bit, and I'm gonna play some God of War because I got some stuff to throw axes in, and I'm really excited. The game's been really good so far. But yeah, just a heads up. Kind of a, has nothing to do with anything. A little bit more into my life of things I like to do. P&W loan grips, extra large. Check that out. These are beefy. I really, really like the size of these, and they seem super cozy. I won't do anything too terribly crazy with them, but they're just a little bit thicker, basically, in the hands. And I mean, they feel nice. I've not had a pair of P&W grips for a while, and I honestly feel like they've changed the material a little bit. They're quite a bit more grippy. I typically ride Vans. These are a special edition from like 3 years ago, oil slick ones. You can't get these ones anymore, sadly. But they're ODI Vans edition. And whenever you first get these grips, the grip is actually like tacky. And your hands and gloves just like kind of stick to it. In a good way, not a bad way. It's a very like confidence building way. And this reminds me of this one new. I think, gosh, my Dirt Jumper has ODI Vans. My Specialized has ODI Vans. I'm pretty sure my NS Eccentric has ODI Vans. I love these grips. But I might have to snag another pair of P&Ws because these feel really, really good. But like as mentioned, I used to run P&W grips. When they first released, I snagged them because they're like $20. I think they got up just a small amount. Hey, what's up, Run Bike Mike? We were literally just talking about you because we just went over the crank set that you so kindly donated to this build. So, and as mentioned, I'll say since you're on here too, please go show Run Bike Mike love because it was very cool of him to do that and he did not need to do that. And I appreciate him for doing that. I also mentioned that you should probably maybe invite me to ride your trails sometime. But that's up to you. But yeah, no, I've never had the XL ones and they feel like not in a chunky way. They feel really, really good. They feel really nice. So just a heads up on that, guys. So I'm super excited with that. And here, check this out. Like, I wasn't sure what color I was going with, but this purple, this is going to look so good on this build. Good grief. And it's going to be just enough purple where it's not super overwhelming. So, like, the pedals will be purple, the chainring will be purple. We'll probably grab a purple stem, because, I mean, that's a must. Might as well. We'll probably keep a JG bike because that seems to be kind of the running theme for this bike. So I'm excited over that. As mentioned, well, thank you, Mike. I'll have to hit you up on Facebook. Probably won't be anytime soon since it's like 20 degrees again, but that's besides the point. I missed fractures. Had issues with the Stamp 1 pedals. The middle's a bit too thick. Felt like my feet were floating. So that was one of my only issues as well with these. And what I did to remedy that was I would not ride in my 510s. I would ride in like Vans or something like that where the sole was a little bit thinner to help with that. I don't want to take the pedal out. Do I still have mine? I kind of like this. So these ones kind of do the same thing that he's talking about. The actual middle is bigger than the platform of the pedal. So as opposed to your foot sitting flat on the pedal, it kind of convexes. Convexes? Yeah, that's concave. So it convexes. So it almost feels like you don't get the full grip of all the pins because of how that sticks out in the middle. These used to be on my Dolomite ALXs. They're also huge this way. So when you had them on the fat bike, which is already an extended bottom bracket, and then you put these clunkers on, these are the pedals that actually had me do my really bad crash on my Dolomite. That crash sucked. Fun fact. So there's that. And, oh, my phone's going off. All right. So, let me see what we got going on. Hey, what's up, SD? How you doing, Scott? Hey, have you been to Griffin since they built the new roll-in for the trail? Let me know for Foxtrot, because I think that roll-in's done now. So, no teal. We might put teal on it. We could, because there's still like we could still get like change the shifting cable colors and stuff like that. That's what I do with my NS Eccentric. But I'm a huge fan of like the retro colors between like teal and purple and pinks and things. You guys know that about me. I just think it's cool. It just makes it stick out. I don't like boring bikes. The Specialized is probably the most boring bike I've ever built, but it's boring in a classy way because it's silver and black, and it just looks really sharp. It looks very, very good. And that's kind of what this bike was too. It was just a very nice looking bike. So, but putting this purple stuff on this might make me have to change stuff on my Specialized to purple. So, yay for spending money. Let's go. Supporting bike companies. Awesome. So, last thing that we have for this. So, as I'm wrapping up with these, how long have we been going for right now? Probably not super long, I don't think. Oh, 25 minutes? We would go a little bit. So, this is the last box that I have as of right now, and it is again from Berserker Nick. As mentioned, Berserker Nick has hooked this build up with quite a few things. Huge shout out to Berserker Nick. Please go subscribe to him. Please go subscribe to Run Bike Mike as well for showing love to this build. I absolutely appreciate that so much. And it's just cool to see different YouTubers and like the community come together, because as mentioned, Rich Moore from Griffin Bike Park has also sponsored this build. And it's just so stinking cool to see people come together to help build a bike to give to someone that needs a bike. So I love that. And it's just so cool to think that it's not going to be a stock Trouvaille. It's going to be a very nice built up Trouvaille. So as I mentioned that, I will mention this. I mentioned it in the beginning of the video, but there is a way now to make donations to the channel. There's a little money sign. I don't expect donations. Fractured's already given me a donation because he's that guy. Fractured, I love you though, but thank you. But any donations that are made during live streams or anything like that will go straight to this build. A couple things that I'm still wanting to potentially do is a fork for sure. I want to switch to an air fork, and I do want to switch potentially a new wheel set. I have spare tires, like brand new tires, where? Chilling somewhere, which I'm probably just going to throw these on just because I have them. But there's some 2.4s. There's some just real nice Trouvailles. They're honchos. Whenever I bought these originally, I thought they were 2.6s because I was going to put them on my Axum build. And they were 2.4s, so I decided just to throw these up here and save them for a rainy day. And as opposed to saving them for a rainy day, let's put them on this bike and give them away to someone. So some super, super nice, just almost all-weather tires. They're very nice. I run these exact same ones on my Axum, but in 2.6, not 2.4. And they're gumwall, because gumwall's life. I tell you what, though, it's funny how some people just hate gumwall tires. You post some pictures and stuff, and you get so much hate because you do gumwall or something like that. Cracks me up. But let me see what Fractured said. What is this cold year? Yeah, Fractured, you got snow for like months. It just snows over there for months. And then you BMX indoors, which I love watching those, by the way. So, here's the last thing we'll go over. They're hydraulic brakes. They're pretty snazzy hydraulic brakes, too. But yeah, I've had my heater running for like 3 hours to get it kind of bearable in here. So I'm still in a sweater though, trying to make it nice. But check these bad boys out. Whenever I got these and I started unboxing, and as mentioned, I just kind of looked at him to see what he sent me. But he found these freaking awesome oil slick brakes. They are so tight. But let me try to get this bubble wrap off so I can show you a little bit closer. But this other one's the exact same, so I'm not gonna, just a different size cable. But I've never messed with this brand, the Tonkies, but I'm sure they're fine. Anytime I've done budget hydraulic brakes, they've always worked no problem. But look at that oil slick. Hang on, let me find that chain again. Gosh, it is just pretty. Like, I don't care if you guys make fun of me for saying pretty. It is just so stinking cool. I have always loved oil slick colors. Just some nice budget hydraulic brakes. And as mentioned, I've ran a couple budget-friendly hydraulic brakes with 0 issues. Look at that. That is so stinking cool. Man. Someone is going to get a sharp bike. I'm so excited over this. It's going to be really hard for, hey. Thanks, Scott. I appreciate you, man. But no, it's going to be hard for me to build this bike because I'm not going to ride it. I'll shift it in the stand to make sure everything's working appropriately and everything. But once I get this bike built, like, it's just going to look so good. And I know it's going to ride good as well. So I'm super, super stoked. Hey, what's up, Hoffman? How you doing, man? Thank you for making, hey, see you, Scott, you're heading out. Thank you for the donation, Scott. And as mentioned, that'll go straight to the build. So thank you, man. I really appreciate it. But, yeah, man, oil slick budget brakes, they're hard to beat. So pretty stinking cool. So we got, I'll go through all this again real quick, just real fast. So Berserker Nick hooked us up with the brakes for the build. He hooked us up with the Stamp 1 for the builds. As I'm doing this, any questions over the build, please put them in the comments real quick, because we're going to be kind of just starting to wrap up a little bit and talking just a little bit more. So if you have any questions over what I'm doing, how I'm going to do it, things like that, let me know so we can hit them real quick, because this live feed, it will be up, but we'll see how it goes after that. All right. Really nice oil slick chain, Berserker Nick. Chainstay protector, Berserker Nick. Berserker Nick is just the man, and as mentioned earlier, please go show Berserker Nick love. Go subscribe to his channel. He's just an amazing, awesome individual who just supports so many channels in the community, from budget bike builders to just anybody who he just personally enjoys. So I'm very fortunate that he enjoys watching the channel and willing to support me. I'm very fortunate. All right. Next one. Oh, hang on. Sorry. XL, cozy as crap. B&W, some really nice grips. Berserker Nick as well. Next one. Huge shout out to Run Bike Mike. Run Bike Mike hooked us. Hey, see you, Chris. Thank you for joining, man. Run Bike Mike hooked us up with some very nice JG bike cranksets. So again, Run Bike Mike was in the chat. I'm not sure if he's still here or not. I know we all have lives, and I know he's got a couple kids, so I'm sure he's probably taking care of them now because it's pretty late. Came with a real nice 36, which is pretty big. According to Chris, who just logged off, said that a 36 will fit. I know a 36 oval will act as actually a 34 and a 38, if I recall right. So we'll see if it does actually fit and work, but I love the fact that it's purple. It'll just go with the color scheme. So if for some reason it doesn't work or fit, I'll just get a new chain ring, so nothing big there. But if you've watched my channel very much, you know that I absolutely love oval rings. I won't go as far to say I swear by them, because I know they're still up for debate for a lot of people, but I personally notice a difference with oval rings, so I run them on my bikes. And so we're going to put an oval ring on this because that's what it came with. So again, Run Bike Mike. Huge shout out to Run Bike Mike for sending me the JG bike cranks. He reached out to me on Instagram and asked what I needed for the build, or what he could potentially help support for the build. So huge shout out there. Thank you, Run Bike Mike. Go show him some love. And last but not least, what we currently have in upgrades is the Micro Shift Advent 9-speed derailleur, but this is the clutch one. So it comes stock with the 9-speed derailleur, non-clutch. This was donated by Rich Moore. Rich Moore gave me a sum of money and said, go buy whatever I need for the build. He is the manager slash runner owner. I don't really know what his title is, I'm not gonna lie. But the groundskeepsman of Griffin Bike Park, which I ride there quite a bit. So him and I are pretty close, and just a really good man, a really good friend of mine. No real way to support him, sadly. You can support Griffin Bike Park. Maybe go to their Instagram, Facebook, follow them on that kind of stuff. But Rich doesn't do any YouTube videos or anything like that currently. He's discussed with me a couple times over different things, so maybe we can start getting that rolling for him. But a very knowledgeable and just awesome individual. You've seen me, if you watch the channel, ride with him several times, and it looks like Santa Claus, and this is his time of year. So just an amazing, awesome, good individual. So Berserker Nick, Run Bike Mike, and Rich Moore are, as of right now, the ones on the committee, because as we build this bike up, we are going to be giving this bike away. I shared in the beginning of this, so if you're now just joining, I'm going to see, hang on, I'm going to catch up real quick, see what Roman said. Dang with those colors. So, it's going to be a slick build. It's going to be nice. It's going to be built well. It's going to have some really nice components. But there are still just a few parts that I am wanting to get. So if you want to reach out to me, you can follow Chicken Cindy's on Facebook. You can follow Chicken Cindy's on Instagram. I have a TikTok now. I still can't make up my mind how I feel about TikTok, but we have a TikTok, and I make silly videos on TikTok every now and then. But a lot of the stuff you see in my YouTube shorts and things are a lot of the same videos I just kind of post on everything. So, but there's a couple different ways to get a hold of me. I'll post in the comments real quick my personal email. So if you want to get a hold of me, which one do I have? If you want to get a hold of me via email, over potentially helping support this build, just to be able to give a nice bike to someone who deserves it, that'd be hugely appreciated. And so I'm going to post that real quick. So it's just jpwellingatlive.com. That is my personal email. So if you want to get a hold of me, please, by all means, I'd love it. any little amount is greatly appreciated for this build. And again, it's so cool to see the community come together to build something like this to be able to give away. So I love the support that I'm getting and that this bike is getting for that, because it is a really nice bike for the price, and just being able to build it up with friends is really cool. So I'm very fortunate to just have your guys' support. I'm very fortunate to be able to be in the situation I am to be able to buy this bike originally, and to be able to just build it up and to get it out to someone. So when I did my last short, I asked if you wanted me to do a live feed and build it up, or if you wanted me to do just kind of short videos. And I wanted to just kind of clarify, I'm not going to do like legit shorts primarily. I will make shorts as I do stuff just because I can do that, but those won't be the main videos that I'm making. I will do videos of upgrading. So like when I do the actual bottom bracket and the installation of the crankset, I will do a how-to of that, and that'll probably be tied in with the actual group set as well as I put all that together. So we'll see. I'm not going to like milk it for a bunch of stuff, but I want to make sure that if someone buys a Trouvaille, they have a good video, they have good videos to follow to be able to upgrade it. So, do you have Cash App? Joel, I have Venmo and PayPal. So, Joel, if you want to, you can email me. Email me at the email I just posted above, the jpwellnetlive.com. And you can actually, we can talk about that if that's something you'd like to do, Joel. And as mentioned earlier, if you do support this build, you will be put on the committee of how to get rid of this. And I keep saying get rid of it, but how to give it away. And because as mentioned, I don't want it to be on me. I don't want it to be my only decision. I feel like it might be unfair if it was just up to me. So the more people that donate parts, the bigger the committee will be, which, I don't want it to be huge. So at some point in time, I'll probably cut it off, because right now we're up to 4 on the committee already. And I don't want it to have like a committee of 15 people. But we're going to discuss how to give it away and what we need to do and what we should do and what's fair and what will be best for all of you viewers. So I'm excited to see what we do. And I don't think we're going to do something as simple as just a drawing, because this is a whole bike. I want this to go to someone who needs it, deserves it, kind of a situation. So as mentioned, we're hoping to have this done before Christmas so it can be a Christmas present. So maybe it might be a younger kid and we can send it to the parents, and the parent can give it to him under the Christmas tree or something. So it's pretty cool to think about. But I'm going to go ahead and... hang on, let me see what Kevin said. Great idea behind the build. Well done, Josh, and very generous donations. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Kevin, for saying that, man. And Kevin, thank you for joining. You take care. But so a couple different things going on currently with the build. I wanted to do a live real quick. I kind of had some family stuff going on, sadly. I won't get into too much details over it, but I've not posted a video for 2 weeks now. So I wanted to get on, though, and just kind of share real quick over the build and where we're at. But I'm hoping that the family stuff is kind of mellowing out now, but just a cruddy situation. So some good thoughts, prayers, whatever you guys do and whatever you believe or follow, are definitely appreciated for my family currently. Just a cruddy situation happened to come up. So, but we're dealing with it, we're taking care of it, and everyone's okay, and we're doing all right. But I'm hoping to get back into the swing of things, and we're going to start with doing this build. So next week's video is probably going to either be the Smith helmet, which I mentioned that, and this video is ready to go. I have a Smith review helmet video coming up for this really cool Smith helmet that I snagged. Or it'll be the video upgrade, or the video upgrade of this. Yeah, the how-to. So, thank you guys for joining. Thank you for always just making me feel so appreciated for this amazing community that I am so fortunate to be part of. But take care. Again, Berserker Nick, Run Bike Mike, please go follow them. They did quite a bit for this build, and I'm very appreciative of it. But all of you guys take care, and try to stay warm because it's winter time and just miserable outside. But everybody take care, and thank you so much for joining.